Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, I wanted to come on here real quickly and talk about something that I asked online recently through the MLP forums, various MLP Facebook group pages, Twitter, DeviantArt, and even here on YouTube by posting or by uploading a create a post or basically utilizing the option create a post. And that question that I wanted to talk about, or that topic I wanted to talk about real quickly, because I also wanted to do a video on it, just real quickly. The question that I asked around the various places that I just mentioned was, do you think Nicole Dubuc was more of a fan of Sparity, that being Spike and Rarity, than Meghan was, that being Meghan McCarthy? Now, what I brought up afterwards, kind of in my own answer to the question, but asking others along the way, was this. This is what I kind of added on to it. I said, and I quote, since we see more of an emphasis on the relationship, quote unquote relationship, in the seasons she was in charge of than the ones Meghan was in charge of, just curious about your thoughts on that. Because, in my honest opinion, I believe she was. Kind of. I mean, I believe she was more of a fan of the story dynamic between them and wanted to follow up on it, but what about you all? And basically, what I was asking or trying to asking with that question and also answering myself was, do any of us, including me, believe Nicole Dubuc was more of a fan of the Sparity ship, the relationship between Spike and Rarity, than Meghan McCarthy was? Because again, if you go online and look even here on YouTube, 2014 BabsCon, you will notice that basically, and it's even been quoted throughout various pics you can find online of Spike and Rarity, Meghan basically kind of shut down the whole Sparity thing. However, as we see later on, even though it wasn't emphasized as much from seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, and even 7, we do still get various moments. Like we get some moments throughout seasons 3 and 4, we get moments in 5 and 6, and somewhat 7, but mostly in those earlier seasons before 6 and 7. But the point is, when Meghan decided to kind of make her leave and take a higher position at Hasbro and DHX, Nicole Dubuc stepped in as the new executive producer, and it's kind of ironic that when she stepped in, all of a sudden we saw more of an emphasis on the Spike and Rarity relationship. The first time we saw that emphasis or that return of a spotlight to it was in the moment of Breakup Breakdown when Spike took the poem that he had wrote for Rarity and was reading it off to Discord to give Discord an example of what Hearts and Hooves Day, the equivalent of Valentine's Day, was about. Now, on top of that, we get a follow-up episode called Meltdown, where basically we have both characters, both Spike and Rarity, going through some different situations throughout the story. And then, of course, you get the best gift ever. And then, of course, you get moments in season 9, like in the first 20 seconds of Between Dark and Dawn. You get Dragon Dropped, of course, which people point out, Summer Sun Setback, and them fighting together against Chrysalis in the final climactic battle of the ending of the end, where for a brief period, combining the powers together, they do end up overpowering Chrysalis, but just briefly. And then, of course, you get the last problem, where you get an image like, let's say, I don't know if you could really see it down there. I'll try to bring this over there real quickly, where we get this image right here, and even that image. And you kind of get the idea that perhaps, as Jim pointed out, it's now left up to interpretation by the fans to see if there was an implied relationship that occurred. And of course, you take a look at the various comics. You look at the junior novel, A Chance of Clarity. You look at all these examples, and obviously, Sparity is a very popular ship. But getting back on topic and wanting to make this video real short and quick to the point, the question that I asked at the various Facebook group pages, DeviantArt, MLP forums, Twitter, and even here on YouTube through the create post option, was Nicole Dubuc more of a fan of Spike and Rarity than Meghan was? And what's ironic, when I posted it on Twitter, not once but twice, the second time I tagged the various people I was talking about, from Nicole Dubuc, from Meghan McCarthy, to Kathy Westluck, Tabitha St. Germain, as well as some of the various Brony and Pegasus analysis people out there, like Voice of Reason, Silver Quill, Firebrand, Josh Scorcher, you name it. Lightning Bliss, many that would probably think about this question and want to be curious about it themselves. And fortunately, Kathy Westluck was kind enough to respond. Not only did she like both of my tweets, but she also was kind enough to respond to the one she was tagged in, where she basically said, "I'm not sure, you'll have to ask them." Because I think even Kathy's kind of curious as to why the character she voiced, the main character she voiced in Spike, was getting more of a spotlight with Rarity, Tabitha St. Germain's main character, in these final seasons more so than ever, including, like I said, Best Gift Ever. But anyway, though, I ask again that question to you guys, this time in video form. What do you think? Do you think Nicole Dubuc was more of a fan than Meghan McCarthy? And do you think maybe that's because we saw more of a spotlight and emphasis on Spike and Rarity's quote-unquote relationship in the last seasons, including the the bridging holiday special Best Gift Ever? Do you think there was something to it, or do you think she just was a fan of storytelling and wanted to see maybe some kind of closure on that relationship? Like, hey, if you're gonna tease something going on between them, kind of follow through on it and leave it up to the imagination of the fans, or kind of hint maybe that something did happen. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. Thank you all for watching. But let me know down below, and I am out.